Stephen here at Bland Designs, and today I want to do a review of a couple of products. Um, the first thing I want to do is a review of the Misti versus the Stampoholic uh, rubber stamping system. And then at the end of this one, I have a very quick review of a new toy that I got, the Cricut Explore Air. But first, let's deal with the Misti. This is not so much a review as it is a versus. Misti versus the Stampoholic. Now, I've had my Misti for quite a while, and most people are familiar with the Misti. The Misti is a stamping system that makes doing multiple impressions really easy. Basically, and you can go on YouTube and find many videos for this, you lay down your rubber stamp on your paper here, pick it up with the acrylic door, ink it, put it back down, press it. You'll get the exact placement of your rubber stamp image, and if you're making multiple copies, like say 10, 20, 30, 50, whatever cards that have all the same image on them, then you just re-ink, stamp it down, pull it up, put in a new piece of paper, a new card, and do the same thing. Also, it's great if you get a bad impression. You know, often that happens. We didn't get enough ink on the stamp, or we didn't press down evenly enough, and we get a partial image. Well, you can't line it up and get it right without getting a shadow effect. But with this, you don't have to worry about that. You just re-ink it, stamp it again, you'll get a perfect image. So that's in a nutshell what a Misti is all about, and it is a great product. However, another company has come out with their version of the Misti, and they call it the Stampoholic. This one is a 12 by 12. They have them in 3 sizes, so does Misti. They have the small one, the middle-sized one, which is the one I just had up here for you a moment ago, and then they have a 12 by 12. And My Sweet Petunia, who makes the Misti, also have a 12 by 12. The thing about this, compared to the Misti, is really has to do with 1, cost, 2, shipping, and 3, attitude. So let me start with the cost, first of all. On the My Sweet Petunia website, they advertise their 12 by 12 Misti at $100 US. On top of that, you have to pay for shipping. Now, I live in Canada, so shipping was about $34.95, something like that. Also, I'd have to pay the exchange rate. So the $100 basically becomes a lot more. Comes out to maybe about $135 right now, plus the $34 for shipping would come out to closer to $50. So you're talking around, well, I think I figured it out. It comes out to, with shipping and everything else, around $175 for the 12 by 12. This one is a little cheaper. I forget what it was. I think it might have been about $80, $85, something like that. Worked out to about $135. I think I said the other one worked out to $135. Worked out a little bit more than that. This worked out to about $135 Canadian. However, free shipping anywhere in the world. The only thing they don't tell you is that well, they do tell you it's going to be shipped by DHL. However, because of where it's manufactured, and I'll explain that in a minute, I had to pay duty on this, and I had to pay $24.26 Canadian. So basically the difference in price after all factors, shipping costs, duty, and everything are taken into consideration, this worked out a little cheaper. Now, it wasn't that much cheaper. It was about $16 cheaper. So really, you know, that's not necessarily a biggie in terms of whether you should buy a Misti or you should buy a Stampoholic. What is more important, though, is the shipping method. They said it'll take 10 days for the Stampoholic to reach you. It took 4. It only took 4. They ship it by DHL. The Misti, I believe, is shipped through the postal service. So you never know when you're going to get that. On top of it all, this company was, and this has to do with now their service, was excellent. Every step of the way, there was a notification as to my order's process, how it was being processed, where it was located. There was tracking, the whole bit. I got all of that. Now, you might get the same with the Misti. I'm not sure because I bought my Misti quite a long time ago and I really don't remember with that. But it did come in 4 days. So that was pretty good. That was impressive. The third factor, though, that really is the one that made me go for this. Both of them are manufactured offshore. The Misti used to be manufactured in the United States, but now I believe it's manufactured in China. This one's manufactured in India. That is why I had to pay, although it's an American company that distributes it, I had to pay duty because it came from India to me in 4 days. That's pretty impressive. They're both the same quality. This one is just as sturdy and is just as well built as the Misti. So that's not a factor. The factor is attitude. If you go onto My Sweet Petunia website and check out her information about her terms of selling you one of these, it's got a whole list of stuff that quite frankly is ridiculous. It really is. And it sets a tone. The tone is, I don't really care about you as a customer. I just want to sell these things, but I'm going to sell them to you on my terms. So the whole idea that the customer's always right doesn't really apply here. DCM, which is the company that distributes the Stampoholic, they sent very friendly emails out, explained the whole process. We're able to contact them, no problem. Now, with My Sweet Petunia, I used to work in a scrapbooking store. And we decided that we really liked the Misti, and so we inquired about getting them at wholesale so we could sell them to customers in our store. It went back and forth, back and forth. Half the time, My Sweet Petunia would not answer the emails or inquiries. When they finally did, they sent us a whole lot of paperwork basically stating that if we sneezed anywhere near the Misti, they had to know about it. It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, the control that they want to have. In my way of thinking, if I've bought the product, the control is now in my hands. It belongs to me now. It does not belong to the manufacturer. Yes, apparently there's a patent pending on the Misti. Not sure how this company gets around it. Probably it's because they're manufactured in India. So American laws probably don't apply outside of America. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Haven't got a clue about that. But it's all that attitude. Not only that, but at the time, we were trying to get 12 of them, and that's what the minimum order quantity was if you're retail. They were all spoken for. They were pre-ordered by customers. It took 8 months from the time we put in the order until the time we actually got the product. We sent numerous emails to the company, to My Sweet Petunia. No answer. Never let us in on if they were having a problem, what was going on. We eventually figured out there was a problem with manufacturing, but they just ignored whatever emails we sent inquiring about it. We had customers who wanted the product and were getting very frustrated because they thought they were going to get it with, at the outside, in a month. It was 8 months by the time they ever did arrive. So there's a problem there as well. But anyways, they're both excellent products. It's up to you to decide which one is right for you. I'm just giving you my honest opinion in comparing them both. I don't usually say anything negative about companies when I do reviews of products, but I had to let you know what I've gone through and what I know. And now you know. So go on YouTube, check out the videos for both this one and for the Misti, and you can compare for yourself which one's right for you. But they're both excellent tools. And now I'm going to do a very quick review of my new toy, my Cricut Explore Air. So this is the Cricut Explore Air, their newest machine, and I just got it. I used to have an Expressions 2 and actually had the micro one as well, and I like them all. But this one is far superior to the Expressions 2, and I don't know why I've waited this long to get it. Well, I do know, because it's not a cheap machine, but on the other hand, it does a lot more than any other machine that I've owned, including my Brother Scan and Cut. And on some of my previous videos, you have seen me talk about the Brother Scan and Cut and what it can do. Well, I still love my Brother Scan and Cut, but I think I'm liking this machine just that much more. So it's got a nice sleek design. You notice that it's missing a view screen on here. It's all done by computer. But the Air model will hook into your computer if you have a Bluetooth connection, which makes it very easy. In fact, you can even hook it up to your iOS devices, like an Apple, you know what I'm talking about here, I'm all tongue-tied, an iPad, okay, or even your iPhone. And there's an app for that, and it works very well. Now, I'll just open this up so you can get a better look at it. So here's the inside, and it's very sleek, and you'll see it has two holders. One is for the blade, this one right here. I'm trying to balance the camera and do the same time. Blade is here, and this is a pen holder here. And when I first saw this feature way back before I owned one, I thought, yeah, sure. So you put one color pen in, and you can draw some pretty lines, and you can cut. Actually, it does a lot more than that. This machine will, yes, write. It'll allow you to take any of your cartridge components, and you can, make your own background paper with it, or draw an image with them on your cards, whatever. So that is a nice feature, and it holds quite a variety of different pens. I have bought the Cricut pens, but I've put in Slick Writer pens. Those work, and a couple of other brands will work as well. And there is a site at the Etsy stores where you can order a bunch of cartridges, or they're not cartridges, they're holders for various types of pens, including for Sharpies and that kind of thing. In fact, I ordered all the different ones, and so I can virtually use almost any pen in this machine once those arrive. I just ordered them the other day. They haven't come yet. It's got storage space right in here, as you can see. And you can put your extra blades in there. Actually, I've got my extra blades in here. It has a dial setting as opposed to a digital setting for different paper types, and it has a custom setting on this wheel as well that covers anything that isn't on the wheel, so vinyl, chipboard, that kind of thing. And I've been playing around with that feature, and it does a really nice job of cutting heavier materials. It comes with one mat, and I don't have the mat out to show you, but it's a little thinner than the original mats. However, the original mats will also work in this machine, so don't get rid of your old mats. Use those along with the new mats. The new mats are improved. I find that they are sticky, but they seem to keep their sticky longer with them, at least so far. In the 2 days that I've had the machine, I figured that out. I've done a lot of playing around with it in the last couple of days, and I designed a whole 12 by 12 scrapbook page using this machine. And one of the abilities this machine has is, if you want to cut out an actual image from your cartridges, like all colored in, it has a facility whereby you send it to your printer, it prints it on your printer all in color, just like you would print anything, and it puts these registration marks on it. Then you feed it into the machine, and it reads the registration marks, and it'll cut out whatever that image is exactly as it looks. That works really well. And I have to say, that feature alone makes this, in my opinion, a better machine than the Brothers Scan and Cut. The Brothers Scan and Cut, you can scan in an image, but if the contrast isn't quite right, or, there's all kinds of fiddling about to get it to cut, it's much more involved, the process for it, and the end result, I don't think, is near as good as the end result from the Explore Air. I'm loving this machine completely. It is great, and I'm so glad that I got one. So that's my little review about this machine. I'm not going to show you how it all works, because there's lots of videos on YouTube where people have gone through it step by step and show you all the different things this machine will do. I'm just basically saying that I love it. I think it's great.